Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So tonight I am doing a late night fragrance review because I recently purchased one and I was just so excited about it. I couldn't wait until tomorrow to talk about it. So I hope that you guys enjoy hearing my thoughts on this fragrance. And if you haven't already subscribed, definitely consider doing so that you don't miss any future content. And without further ado, let's get started. So welcome back to my channel, guys. Just as a quick side note, my fairy lights have been flashing for the last few minutes and I don't know if they're going to last throughout this video, but it's also later at night, so please excuse the lighting. It is about 10 p.m. and it's dark outside, so normally I like to have the outdoor lighting to do this because it's so nice, but I couldn't wait to talk to you about this fragrance, so I decided we're going to make do with just my fairy lights and a candle and the lighting from my bedroom. So as you can tell from the title of this video, tonight I'm going to be talking to you about Yves Saint Laurent's Libre, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I want to say Libré, but that's not what it is. I have terrible French accent skills, so we'll just call it Libré, okay, because that's easier for me. And this is the Eau de Parfum Intense. Okay, so first I will tell you my history with this fragrance, why I ended up with this one, and also what the notes are, and then we'll talk a little bit more. I have a few things I wanted to mention with this fragrance. This is the type of perfume you could spend a long time talking about because it's so unique and it's so multifaceted and there's so many different perspectives on it. So it comes in this gorgeous kind of elegant looking box. It's also kind of like a edgy box, I would say. Like, it's elegant but it's kind of edgy at the same time. And I will just open it and show you what the bottle looks like. Okay, so this is what the bottle looks like, and I believe this is a 75 or a 50 ml. This is a 50 ml, and I think I paid 138 Canadian for this, brand new. I did not get it from a discount site. I actually went and smelt this in the store and purchased it from Shoppers Drug Mart, which in Canada is like kind of a higher end pharmacy, I guess. They sell a lot of higher end skincare and makeup products, as well as a lot of good fragrances. So if you guys have been watching my channel for any length of time, you might know, and I don't know for sure if I ever spoke about it before, but I used to actually have a YSL Libre, the EDP, and it was kind of a love at first sniff for me. I loved the EDP, but the trouble that I had with the EDP was that I found it to be almost suffocating, like almost too dense and too rich and too thick, and it honestly made me feel nauseated. So very shortly after getting the EDP, I did actually have to give it away. I can't remember if I gave it away or returned it, and I really didn't think I was gonna like the intense version either, and I've actually gone into the store and smelt the intense version a few times and pretty much put my nose up at it right away and was like, no, there's no way I can wear that. It still reminds me of the same thick, suffocating, nauseating eau de parfum that I used to have, and I pretty much didn't think I was going to be able to do it, especially spraying on paper. And that first impression, smelling on paper, just didn't do it for me, And tonight I actually had the sales associate spray it on my arm, and I let it settle down for a few minutes. And by about 5 or 10 minutes in, I was starting to really like it. So much so that I decided to actually buy a bottle. I actually went there to look at completely different fragrances, and I walked out with this one instead. This one, compared to the EDP, I think is much heavier on the tonka bean. It is sweeter, it's richer, it's more intoxicating, it's got more of a sexy vibe to it. So I'll just tell you what the notes are in this quickly. So in the opening, you have bergamot, mandarin orange, and lavender. In the middle, you have more lavender. You also have jasmine, orchid, and orange blossom. And in the base, you have vanilla, vetiver, tonka bean, and ambergris. But what you mostly get from this perfume is a lot of vanilla, a lot of tonka bean, and a lot of lavender. This is a lavender and vanilla bomb. So for those of you who are comparing this to Mon Guerlain and wondering if this is along the same vein as Mon Guerlain, it has a little bit in common with it in that they both are vanilla lavender fragrances, but Mon Guerlain is a lot softer. It's a lot more feminine smelling. This one leans a little bit more masculine. Yeah, they don't smell the same by any means. If you have Mon Guerlain and you love it and you've been tempted to blind buy this one, I would say don't blind buy this. This is certainly not a safe blind buy. This is one you definitely want to smell before you buy. So a lot of people think that this leans masculine. At first when I smelt it, I didn't understand where that came from. I didn't think that this lent masculine at all. I thought it was a very feminine fragrance. And this does have a lot of feminine notes. It has that orchid, it's got that orange blossom. So it does have a lot of traditionally feminine smelling notes in here. And I think if you took out the orchid and probably the jasmine and the orange blossom, this would for sure be 100% a man's cologne. Like, hands down, this would be very, very masculine. So I didn't get it at first, but the more that I smell this, the more I realize where people are coming from with it being a little bit masculine, but it's masculine in a good way. I think it's because lavender and bergamot are typically very masculine smelling notes. They're used in a lot of men's fragrances. Bergamot gives it a little bit of a pinch and a little bit of a freshness in the beginning. It's a super sexy citrus smell. And then lavender, of course, is used in a lot of men's colognes and not that many women's fragrances. This kind of reminds me a little bit, not that it smells like it, but it kind of gives me the vibes almost of something like Hugo Boss The Scent Private Accord for Him, which is a really delicious, deep, seductive men's cologne. If you haven't smelt it, it's absolutely incredible. I love it. I like the Hugo Boss Private Accord The Scent for Men much more than the women's version. But Hugo Boss The Scent Private Accord for Him is like a comfortable, confident man who likes to cuddle. That's what I get from it. It's like really sexy, really confident, really mature, likes to cuddle, somebody you can confide in to me and rely on. To me, that is the type of cologne that cologne is. And this one has almost a similar vibe in that if I smelt this on my boyfriend, I would really like it. Like 100%. I would think it was sweet. I would think it was really intriguing, really intoxicating, but at the same time very soft, very sweet, very comforting. It kind of has like that kind of vibe, but at the same time for me it's definitely feminine. This will fill a room. It has amazing projection, amazing sillage. I had sprayed 4 other perfumes on my arms while I was in the store, and this one outperformed all of the other fragrances within like half an hour to an hour. I was almost anosmic to the other ones because this one was so strong. This one just has huge presence. It's very dense, it's very rich. This is like the perfect fragrance for this time of year. It's perfect for fall, perfect for sweater weather, perfect for like leaves falling on the ground. It's getting cool outside. You're wearing a chunky cable knit sweater, or maybe you're just wearing like a really nice wool overcoat. I think the reason, if you look on Fragrantica, there's actually a lot of people who still find this to be nauseating. They still find this to be overpowering, overwhelming, headache inducing, too rich, too dense, too sweet. There's a lot of people who are actually really turned off by it. There's actually like about, I would say 60 or 70% like it, and 30 or 40% really don't like it. So it can be very polarizing, which is another reason you shouldn't blind buy this. Part of the issue could be, which was my issue, just taking it for paper value, but also spraying too much and getting your nose too close. And I think we do that. We spray perfumes on ourselves and then we're constantly like sniffing that spot over and over and over. And some perfumes you can do that too, and it's not going to kill you. It's not going to knock you over. You're just going to really enjoy it. Something like Air Hibiscus Palm, Ylang in Gold, I don't know, Chance Eau de Toilette. Like those kind of fragrances, I can spray those on my hand and I can just smell my hand all day and they will not bother me. They don't give me a headache. They don't turn me off. They don't overwhelm me. There are certain fragrances that you can't do that to. For me, one of those is Coco Mademoiselle Intense. That one knocks me off my feet if I spray too much and get too close to it. So this is kind of one of those fragrances. You just can't spray too much and get too close. You really don't need very much of this. I would say 1 or 2 sprays, 3 max, from like 10 or 11 inches away. Don't concentrate on one area. Don't concentrate right on your neck, because that is going to be wafting up to your nose and it's going to burn your nose hairs all day, and it probably will make you feel a little bit sick unless you have a really strong nose. I'm one of these people who very, very easily gets a headache, very, very easily becomes nauseated if a scent is too overpowering. So yeah, I think spraying a little bit further away and a little bit further down is the key for this one. This is lots of vanilla, lots of tonka bean, lots of lavender, as I said. And when I first spray it, it is very strong. You get a lot of those floral notes. You get a nice little punch of bergamot in the opening that fades pretty quickly, very quickly becomes that thick, rich, dense lavender vanilla tonka bean balm. There is also vetiver in here, so that gives it a little bit of depth and gives it a little bit more richness. And for the first probably 10 or 15 minutes, this can be overwhelming. Like if I really put my nose to my arm for the first 10 or 15 minutes, I'm like, it's very strong, almost unbearably so that I don't want to get too close and smell it. I kind of like to smell it from a distance. I kind of smell a little further down my arm to kind of get the idea of what it is. About half an hour, 45 minutes into it is when I start to notice the masculinity. That's when I can really start to pick up on that like kind of sexy, smooth, sweet masculinity. I definitely started to pick up on that, and then I understood where people were coming from with that. And I still really liked it. And actually, the longer this dries down, you guys, the better it gets. And there is no musk in here. There's no like whipped cream or anything like that. There's no like milky notes, but it eventually does become like the softest, fluffiest, coziest, most beautiful lavender vanilla. I still think I prefer Mon Guerlain because Mon Guerlain is Mon Guerlain. It's amazing. It's like, it is what it is and nothing can replace it in my heart. I just love that fragrance. Mon Guerlain is super feminine, just a little lighter, a little softer. It's just a different scent. But yeah, the longer this one dries down, you guys, the better it gets, honestly. And also I had a bath and I washed myself and I could still smell it when I got out of the tub. So it is a pretty good performer and I still have it on my arm. It's been about, I would say 2.5 hours since I sprayed it. It's still pretty strong. It comes through the sleeve of my sweater. Like it's still pretty strong. And it sounds bad, but it almost has like a lavender dryer sheet smell in the best way. Cozy, feminine, soft. It's super pretty and super soft. It is no more that like overwhelmingly unbearable, super strong, like nauseating kind of effect that it can have in the beginning if you go heavy with this. That is completely gone, and it is just the most beautiful, soft, subtle, feminine, fluffy lavender vanilla. It's just beautiful. It's really, really, really beautiful. Yeah, it's almost like I was thinking to myself, it's almost like fur. It's almost like you took like bunny fur or cat fur or something and dusted it in vanilla and lavender. It's like soft and cozy and fluffy and inviting and beautiful. And the wonderful thing about this scent, I think, is that this kind of can cover all of your bases. I think this is a very versatile scent. This is as versatile as Coco Mademoiselle. You could wear this to the office very, very lightly, maybe go with the EDP. You could wear this for sweater weather, fall, daytime, winter. You could wear this on a date. I don't think this would be like femme fatale, seduce and destroy. I don't think I'd wear it when I wanted like that kind of sexy, like super sexy intimate date. This is a little bit more soft and a little bit more classy, elegant, I guess. You're not looking to necessarily like blow anyone's mind or be super over the top sexy. I don't think it's like over the top sexy, but it definitely does have a sex appeal to it. If I smelled this on a man, like I say, it would drive me absolutely bonkers. Like it would have the same effect on me, I think, as Hugo Boss, the scent for him, Private Accord. Now I'm saying it totally backwards, but it would have that kind of effect. Like it would just make me think he was just super cuddly and warm and just dependable and smelled really nice. And that's kind of like what it gives me. And at the same time, you could wear this to bed. This is like a bed scent. It's got that lavender and it's very soothing. It's very relaxing. It's just really, really a nice, interesting scent that changes a lot. And currently my arm smells like a beautiful, soft, feminine lavender dryer sheet, sort of. And I honestly think this would be a huge compliment getter. I cannot speak to that because obviously I just bought this. I haven't worn it out yet. I have smelt this on other people and I have stopped them and said, what are you wearing? So I kind of knew that I had a thing for this perfume, which is why I keep going back to it and smelling it. I've smelt it on other people and thought they smelled phenomenal and had to stop them and ask them what they were wearing. So it for sure, for me, it's a compliment getter. I do think that this would last for probably about 6-7 hours if I had to guess, just because, like I say, I have had it on my arm now for a couple of hours and it's still going pretty strong. It has softened up a lot, but it's still pretty strong and pretty present. Yeah, it's super unique. That's the other thing. It's very, very unique. I don't have anything else like it. I haven't smelled anything else quite like this. Definitely does have a little bit of a masculine pull. Even now when I smell it, I'm starting to understand where people get that masculinity from, but not in like a Dior Sauvage way, or like even if you've ever smelled Kenzo World Power, you know how that has that cypress in there, which really makes it pull masculine. It really definitely, that's like 100% unisex, like anybody could wear it. For me, this is still soft. It's still very feminine. I would say this is like 55-60% feminine and maybe 30%, 40%-ish masculine. Really looking forward to trying this in the evening, in the fall, and seeing how it goes over with my significant other, as well as just wearing it around town and seeing how I feel, because it's just absolutely beautiful. The bottle is also really nice. This is the only Yves Saint Laurent fragrance that I have in my collection currently. I would like to try some of their like more exclusive lines, or yeah, but there really just is a lot to say about YSL Libre, so I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts. And like I say, definitely not a safe blind buy, but definitely worth checking out, and definitely worth giving a recheck out if you have smelt it before and you weren't 100% certain about it. I suggest don't spray it on paper. I suggest spray it on your skin, not too much, from a distance, and like walk around for 20 minutes, half an hour, and keep smelling your arm and see how you feel, because it definitely changes. It is a very, very it is not a linear fragrance. It definitely changes a lot, and it's really beautiful. So yeah, I apologize for the lighting again, you guys. A little bit dark in here, but my fairy lights managed to last. And now I'm going to shut this off and edit it for you guys. So I hope everybody has a wonderful night.